Buddha led me down a bad path. And I don't mean enlightenment Buddha. I mean my fat friend that smokes me out fat. I was a good kid at some point. Swear. I said no to drugs, and the idea of fucking a girl and then passing her to the homies, it was fucking disgusting to me. Thanks to Buddha's teachings, though, I say yes to more drugs than my parents would like. And I would never deny a bitch to one of the boys like that. What I've lost in gray matter, I've made up for with becoming a real one. I used to be a fake one because I thought I knew what pain was before I let Buddha into my life. Thanos taking my bitch hurted, but Buddha calling me a square? That shit's excruciating. Predicaments age you, and Buddha got me into quite a few of those predicaments. As a result, I'm mentally 30, but that's only because it doesn't take much to be as mentally mature as a millennial. Buddha? That nigga's 300 pounds of pure chaos and THC with a line of coke. A Buddha day is a surrender to the tides of life. You might show up to Buddha's and learn what it's all about. He was the one that told me about the 5G towers, how they're gonna kill us and we all better start learning Russian. He might also get you killed. Buddha bought me tickets for a concert I didn't know about, and I went. Buddha wanted it, and so it was. Matter of fact, I didn't just go, I drove him and the boys to Sacramento for that Kuko concert. It was a Buddha day, so it was full of trials. I had to replace my car battery for Buddha. Me and Chimichungi fixed that car in less than 2 hours in a field we had no understanding of, because if we didn't, we knew Buddha would fucking kill us. Buddha knows Muay Thai, and his legs, they weigh more than me. I thought about all the ways he could kill me, and in most of them, he doesn't lift a finger. There's been a couple of times he's been rolling a blunt and still had solid odds on me. But alas, the tragedy of getting killed with legs is that it's often done without the raising of a finger. If I made Buddha raise a finger to kill me, I'd probably commit seppuku. It would be dishonor in its most out-of-pocket form, and he'd probably let me know as he crushed my windpipe with his quads. As I finessed rush hour traffic for Kuko, Buddha was dropping acid in the back of the car. That's the beautiful thing about getting into a car with Buddha. You don't know where you're going to end up. All you know is that if you get pulled over, you're getting a drug charge. So I drove steady so that Daddy's trip wouldn't be interrupted by law enforcement. And Buddha never gives me credit for this. There was a time when I was Buddha's favorite plaything, but he never verbalized that appreciation for me, even when I had every fucking opportunity to kill him on acid. We end up in Sacramento, and it's batty because Buddha led me there, so something has to go wrong. The concert is at Sacramento University, and I can't exactly park there without money, which is an issue for me. Luckily, Buddha always knows where to leave my car, so we post up in a complex. Then, oh baby, the Buddha factor cranks up and we're dabbing in the back of the complex where all the crackheads live. When I knew I was going to leave my car in front of an RV with a herd of tweaks, I thought one thing. We better do some drugs so they know we have something they value in the car. Buddha even left the torch in case their crack brains weren't capable of producing a hot dab with their thoughts. That's because Buddha cares a lot more about the disenfranchised than most of your modern politicians. How many congressmen you know are out here, giving 2 tabs of acid to bums outside 7-Eleven? Buddha dropped a cool 40 on that 7-Eleven hobo, and the fucking bum never had the courtesy to thank Buddha, his god. We actually never saw that particular homeless man again, which means that LSD gave him a perspective shift that keeps him away from 7-Eleven at crackhead hours. By now, he probably has a wife, a couple of kids on the way maybe, a stable job. That, or he took the 2 tabs and died. I want to give Buddha the benefit of the doubt and assume that he didn't kill the crackhead, but it's a crazy world as Buddha has shown me. He may have very well killed that guy. That doesn't bother me. In Buddha's eyes, he was probably just helping out the homeless problem. He didn't really care for the Sacramento homeless, though. The homeless of state capitals are a different breed, and the acid that Buddha brought was for Buddha and Buddha alone. So we left those fiends and went to school for our concert. Nothing makes you look down on parking lot crackheads than walking on a university campus. That prejudice mixed with the fact that I left my fucking car in front of them, it gave me a lot of anxiety. As we were looking for the concert, Chimichungi keeps telling me about how the tires are going to be gone. And I said, Chimichungi, they're not going to steal my tires on a Thursday. Only for me to realize that they were fucking crackheads. They didn't fucking care about what day it was. They don't have a fucking concept of a calendar. There's days you have crack and there's days you don't. I figured, I guess I'm a Sacramento bitch. And I walked into that concert hall, and it was aight. Interwaves opened, I think, but that doesn't mean a lot to me, so I went to the Jamba Juice outside. Buddha came with so that I could buy him a drink as tribute. I walked up to the counter faded as fuck, ordered my drinks, and turned my head to find that Buddha was gone. When I look back at my panic attacks, yeah, nothing compares to losing Buddha at a university while he was on 2 tabs of acid. I didn't know what was going to happen, but I was almost certain I was an accomplice. After a minute, I realized that his rampage had probably already begun, so I went to enjoy the concert before the campus exploded. I know there's a God because I have Buddha in my life, but I know there must be 2 because I have no fucking idea how that sweaty fuck made it back to the concert. Maybe Cuco lured his LSD-infused brain, or maybe it was the pheromones of all the Latina baddies. All that really matters is that if you go to Sacramento University, there's still a building there, and we got very fucking close to a scenario where that was no longer the case. If you aren't Eastside, you can't handle the Eastside Buddha. His dabs will collapse your lungs, his physique will intimidate you, and his insults will make you kill yourself. The only people that survive Buddha are the people brought up in a Buddha world. I got into that world for nicotine, and I've paid the price, but Buddha has tempered my soul. I vibed hard at that concert, and there was a solid 45 minutes where nothing went wrong. That's what Buddha gives me, the calm after the storm. I wouldn't value those moments if it weren't for the trials before and how faded I tend to get around Buddha. We came back to the car, and it was still there, tires and everything. I didn't leave a thank you note for the crackheads because I'm assuming they can't read, right? Driving home was nice, but Buddha was in the front seat, so the threat of death was still in the air. Still, even when I knew he could kill me, I was glad to be chilling with Buddha. So imagine my surprise when this fucking kid switched up on me. I put up with his ruckus for a cool minute, and now that I'm his equal, he's got other squads? He picked up a couple Chicanos for Squad 2.0, but much like Acid Hobo, I haven't seen them around since Buddha, which means they either realize they want to graduate or they're dead. There's a contract that we sign, those of us who are foolish enough to fall for Buddha's promises of smoke and bitches, and as soon as you sign it, you're in debt and you're out of pocket. Every day, no matter how in check my financials are, I still have this vibe that Buddha might come collecting. I was groomed into becoming Buddha's little plaything, and I brought the boys down the Buddha hole with me. Me and the boys weren't the first people Buddha's groomed. I don't want to talk about the e-girls because that doesn't make for good comedy. Now that I'm fucked up and depend on his love, he's got conditions. Buddha wants me to give him the full-service schlop and slurp ball-jiggling special cum-nut surprise. I ain't about that, though. There comes a point when you see all the e-girls around Buddha, and you stop seeing the line between you and e-girl. I'm not going to give Buddha a double Dutch reverser just so I can get smoked out fat. At my age, people should be rolling me Dutches to give me a double Dutch. Buddha's got it all flipped. There are some dicks I won't suck, and divinity doesn't change that. God could come straight from heaven and plop his holy cock on my lips, and I still wouldn't suck it. If I'm sucking a dick in this life, it's gonna be mine. Not God's, not Buddha's, not fucking Thanos's. The only time a penis is going into my mouth, you best believe it's coming around full circle. I've got everything I need to please me. So Buddha should be able to understand my frustration when Buddha says, I got no bitches! You spent $60 on a haircut for a Smoke Perp concert. You didn't even get top in, old man. I catch STDs going around the block. Tinder, it's a fucking playground for me, minus the children. Can you, Buddha, the man who's taught me everything about bitches and money, honestly say the same? I get it, Buddha. A lot of masters take up teaching when they can't play themselves. I'll begin these bitches while you work your garbage route and smoke with Squad 3.0. You think you're so cool going to sleep around 10 because you got responsibilities all of a sudden. I got bitches to smoke out at those hours anyway. I spit at you. Disgusting, Buddha. You might smoke, but you don't want smoke from the nigga you've made me become. When I met Buddha, I was a little fiend that needed a daddy to buy nicotine. Now people don't card me. I carry myself like a man, and that's the only time I can really feel like a man because in the sheets I got Buddha issues. If a girl doesn't rub my tummy and call me Papi Chulo, I can't perform. But that's the price I have to pay for associating with Buddha, I guess. I let him in me, and now it's hard for me to be let inside people, especially with the herpes. Now Buddha's going sober, too, which means Eastside might be losing their Buddha. It's okay, though. Maybe what they need is an Eastside Blaze Mcfirebackflip. Someone who can do everything Buddha can with a lower BMI. I might as well fill Buddha's crocs. Someone has to fuck the moms at Eastside, and it's clear that Buddha hasn't been able to do that, even with the age limit turned off his Tinder.